Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 13, The Behavior of a Perfect Person, Text 35. I'll just read the translation for 35. This is no purport. The bee and the python are two excellent spiritual masters who give us exemplary instructions regarding how to be satisfied by collecting only a little and how to stay in one place and not more. Text 36. Viraga Sarakamebhya. Everyone can, we're not charging any money for repeating it. Oh, you didn't put it on the board yet. Donations, yes, that's right. That's the essence. Donate now. 36, okay. Let's repeat that. 7:13. There we go. Okay. Viraga Sarakamebhya Shikshito me madhu vratat Krich traptam madhu vadvitam Hat vap yan yo haret patim Viraga Sarakamebhya Shikshito me madhu vratat Krich traptam madhu vadvitam Hat vap yan yo haret patim Haret patim Hatvap yanyo haret patim Viraga sarva karmebhya Shikshito me madhu vratat Kritrapto madhu varvitam Hatvap yanyo haret patim. Mataji's. Viras karmebhya Shikshito me madhu vratat Krishraptam madhu vratitam Hadvapyanyo haret patim. Viraga, detachment. Sarva karmebhya, from all material desires. Shikshitaha, has been taught. Me, unto me. Madhu vratat, from the bumblebee. Kritstra, with great difficulties. Aptam, acquired. Madhuvat, as good as honey. Money is honey. Yes, should we repeat that a few times? So we can. Vitam, money. Hatvat, killing. Api, even. Anya, another. Haret, takes away. Patim, the owner. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. From the bumblebee, I've learned to be unattached to accumulating money. For although money is as good as honey, anyone can kill its owner and take it away. Purport. A honey gathered in the comb is taken away by force. Therefore, one who accumulates money should realize that he may be harassed by the government or by thieves or even killed by enemies. Especially in this age of Kali, it is said that instead of protecting the money of the citizens, the government itself will take away the money with the force of law. The learned Brahmins had therefore decided that he should not accumulate, the learned Brahmin had therefore decided that he should not accumulate any money. One should own as much as he immediately needs. There is no need to keep a big balance at hand, along with the fear that it may be plundered by the government or by thieves. Viraga sarva karmebhya sikshito me madhuvrata krap krit shaptam madhuvad vitam hadvap yanyo haret patim. From the bumblebee, I've learned to be unattached to accumulating money. For although money is as good as honey, anyone can kill its owner and take it away. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutaya Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Bacharane Nirvishesha Srinivadi Paskyadyade Satarne. Money sweeter than honey. Prahlad Maharaj tells us. I guess that's in his prayers. He said the professional soldier, a thief, and a merchant, they risk their very dear lives to get money. Out of the 4 orders of the Purusharthas, 4 Purusharthas, namely Dharma, Kama, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. In this age of Kali, there is no Dharma. As it says, Tatas Chanudinam Dharma Sattvam Socham Daya Shama Kaleni Balaya Rajan Nakshant Yayor Balam Smriti. So, Tatas, therefore, Tatas means it's like continuous, anugraha, one after another. Tatas Chanudinam, one day after another. Therefore, one day after another. Anudinam Dharma. Dharma, religiosity. What's going to happen to religiosity day after day? Tatastad Chanudinam Dharma Sattvam. And what are we talking about when we're talking about religiosity? 2 most important aspects of religiosity. The 2 most important qualities of a Brahmin are, does anyone know? Sound pretty doubtful. Can you say it with more conviction? Yes, good. It's if you get it wrong, it's not good. If you get it wrong and you sound doubtful, it's worse. But if you say conviction, cleanliness. So, and what is socham is cleanliness. And what is the other one? Yes, sattva. Sattvam, socham, daya. What is daya? Yeah, shama. Shanti is peaceful. Shama, forgiveness, tolerance, which leads to peacefulness, of course. So day after day, these 4 things will diminish. Namely, truthfulness, cleanliness, mercy, and tolerance. Balena Kalina Rajan. Balena, by the strong force of Kalena. Balena Kali Rajan, O king, by the strong force of Kali Yuga, Nakshantya Yoa Balam Smriti. These other things will be destroyed also, namely bodily strength and memory. These things will diminish day after day. It's not that we have to wait another couple of years and people will become less truthful. No, people can, if you have enough influence, you can tell any lie, and people may care, but people don't care about people who care for other people telling lies. In other words, practically the whole world is untruthful, and they expect everyone to lie because they themselves are liars. And if someone tells the truth, they become very disturbed. Why are you spoiling our culture of lying? And cleanliness, if you wash your hands once every week, of course nowadays they were washing hands with this, whatever it was, disinfecting, 20 times a day. That way they say their fingerprints disappeared also. They were washing their hands so many times. But Prabhupada said they're washing their hands with alcohol, the most contaminating substance, alcohol. They think they're becoming clean by using alcohol. That's what they consider cleanliness. And daya, there is no mercy. Nowadays they're considering that actually the child in the womb is not really very important. It's not producing anything economically. The little kid in the womb not making any money, so he's a burden. And after he gets out of the womb, he doesn't, unless he starts working right away, he's also a burden. So why should he cause others to suffer? We should get rid of him as soon as possible for his benefit so he doesn't cause others to suffer. So now they're adopting, as previously there was one famous writer who wrote Gulliver's Travels, Jonathan Swift. You heard of Jonathan Swift, Gulliver's Travels? Never heard of Gulliver's Travels? Gulliver had become one, it was on a ship, and it was in the Bermuda Triangle or something. The ship went underneath the water. He wound up on an island where he was like a giant. And then later on, he left the island. Then he was a midget. He was just a little tiny dwarf insect, another place. It was a satire on the government. But Jonathan Swift, he wrote an article because there was a famine in Ireland, saying that it would be a good idea, because people are going hungry, to sacrifice every child under 1 year old and eat it. That way the hunger crisis would dissipate. And people took him seriously. He was writing it sarcastically, but people took it seriously. I don't know how many children they killed and ate, but anyhow, they thought it was a reasonable conception. Sure, why not? Because people have no spiritual conception of life. They have no idea about karma. They have no idea about reincarnation. They have no idea about the soul, their supreme soul. They're satyam apratishtam te jagado horanishwaram. They say that the whole world is unreal. It's just a big video game, virtual reality, that we're all just playing here. Doesn't really matter what you do. It's just a game. No God. There's no God except for us. No God. Actually, nowadays, they've conditioned people to accept so many gods. They're very disturbed that supposedly in India, they worship many gods, demigods. They're primitive, but we're very advanced because we worship athletic stars as God. We worship movie stars as God. We worship politicians as God. We worship as our body as supreme, or other people's bodies as supreme. So we're actually quite advanced. We don't worship these fictitious demigods. We have our God right before us, kicking the ball down the court. And in order to prove that we actually are faithful to God, we pledge allegiance. Do they do that here in Slovenia? Pledge allegiance to their flag or do anything to respect the flag? In the army they do that, but in school they don't do that. It's too small a country. But in America, you know, as soon as you get into, I guess, I don't remember, maybe it was the first grade, immediately your hand has, every morning before you start school, your hand goes, make sure you still have a heart. They haven't taken away from you yet. So you put your hand over your heart and you pledge your allegiance to the flag, one nation, under God, whoever that might be, individual, for justice for all, especially, anyhow. So every day you pledge allegiance to the flag, the United States of America, to the republic in which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all. So the flag is like, that's a representative of Big Brother. He's watching you nowadays. You're a country which loves you. This is, they say, this is my land, this is your land. From the Texas, whatever. This is my land. Yeah, sure. I don't own any part of the land. So how can it be my land? It may be your land because you stole it from the Indians and everyone else. But it's not my land. So they conditioned the children from the earliest age possible to salute the flag. Before they were, as I think I mentioned, before 1935 or 45, whatever, in America, the flag salute was like this. Like this. Then Hitler adopted it because America was a leading country. And then after Hitler was discredited, then they stopped doing that and they put it here instead. And it kept on pledging allegiance. And similarly in Russia, the flag, in every place, most places, any place that it has some distinction that wants to unite the people together, the flag. Keep on showing the flag, bow down before the flag, Ma Om Vishnu, Ma Om flag Pradaya. And that way people have the sense, I'm not just an ordinary, insignificant person, I'm an American, and I'm proud of it. Bow down, Slovenian. Never Prabhupada said they go to the United Nations and they're all in this doggish mentality that I am Russian, I am American, I am from, Zimbabwe, whatever. And they're just like dogs barking at each other. Rah, big dog, American dog. Rah, well, I'm a bigger dog than you. Well, almost as big a dog as you. I'm a Russian dog. Take it outside, dogs. And the little countries go, we're humble dogs. Don't bite us, please. We don't hurt anyone. We love everyone. We're small but beautiful. So this doggish mentality, bro, so they're simply barking at each other, and they're expecting that they're actually going to get some progress towards peace. If you get a bunch of dogs on the street and they get together and they're growling and biting each other, how any peace is going to be achieved by such interactions? The only way there's going to be peace is when they kill each other. Then they'll lie down peacefully. Similarly, in modern society, as it says here, people are just like thieves. They don't recognize even if they claim there's a God, God is only there in order to accept our sinful reactions. Otherwise, he's useless. He only came here in order to accept our sinful reactions. So we can go on sinning and we won't get any more reactions. He'll suffer because he's such a nice person. And we'll go on sinning and causing others to suffer because we're not so nice. Therefore, it's compared to a group of thieves. They go and rob a bank. And all the thieves come to their hideout. And the head thief stands up and says, "My dear fellow thieves, now that we've stolen this bank, I must ask all the fellow thieves to please, 1, 2, 3, let's all say, Jai the thieves. 1, 2, 3. Jai the thieves. All glories to the thieves. You did a great job robbing the bank. But now, my dear thieves, I only have one request to all of you. Please, please, pretty please, let us divide this money up honestly." So they're all thieves. Their whole mentality is to steal from others. And now they want to become known as honest thieves, not just ordinary thieves, but respectable thieves, gentlemanly thieves. So a modern society is people are proud of their country. They're proud of their leaders. They're proud of their football team. They're proud of so many different things. And they're all stealing from Krishna. They're all thieves. So all the other thieves, they're glorifying the bigger thieves. Or it says, Swavid rahostra karar samstuta purusha pashu nijatu. Let's start that over again. Swavidra hostra karara samstuta purusha pashu yatra patayo pedo yatra jata kadagraja. Now those who are like hogs and dogs and camels and asses, they glorify the bigger hogs, dogs, camels, and asses. But they never glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who carries a club and is ready to hit them over the head with it. So similarly, people have made money as God. And those who have money, they become as good as God. They become God's representatives. And what the money's for? It's for sense gratification. Usually insignificant sense gratification. You can go to the store and buy something that looks like food. Although it may not have any quality that actually would define food, but because it looks like food, those people who are less intelligent believe it as actually food. Food is something that you can digest, according to Ayurveda. Poison is something you can't digest. And medicine is that which helps you digest. So what they're buying is indigestible, so it has the definition of poison, but they believe it's food. And here, the emblem of food is honey, because honey is very nutritious, it's super sweet, gives one strength, etc., etc. Because nowadays, in many parts of the world, you can't find honey because they've killed all the bees with their pesticides, insecticides, herbicides, and the next size is people-cides. So the bees can't produce honey, so what they do is that, and they've destroyed the flowers because there's no pollination because of the bees in some parts, so that they feed bees with sugar water. That's all they give them is sugar water. They go to the hive and they make sugar from the sugar water. And people buy the honey thinking that they're eating sugar, but they're eating, honey, but they're actually eating sugar made by the bees. But honey is usually considered a very nutritious food, very sweet, satisfying, etc., etc. But what is that for? Because without food, anad bhavati bhutani, Krishna says, all living entities subsist on food grains. We don't subsist on technology. We subsist on food. Without food, people can't live. Food may be defined as what we put into our mouth and eat. It can also be defined, as we see in the case of Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj gave up eating food. He was only eating leaves that, well, first he ate for the first month kapita fruit, which probably in one place says that even the monkeys won't eat. Another place he says it's actually quite nutritious and it's very good. I never had kapita fruit, so I don't know. But every third day he'd eat kapita fruit. And then for the next month, every sixth day he'd eat the leaves, dry leaves that fell from the tree. Luckily, he started his austerity in autumn, so there was a lot of leaves falling from the tree. In India, it doesn't get so cold, so I guess he had leaves for at least the first month. And then but that was not the end of his austerity. He only drank water for the third month, every ninth day. So water is also food. Without food, solid food, we may be able to survive for a month or more. Without water, much less time. And then for the fourth month, he only took a breath every 12th day. So breathing, air, is also food. But now they've contaminated the air. They've contaminated the water. The food is practically, in most cases, it's useless in terms of nutrition and building the body and maintaining it. As I gave the example that they did an experiment with rats to find out what the nutritional value of one breakfast cereal. And they put the box of cereal in a place where there were rats, and they discovered the nutritional value of the cereal, because the rats, they wouldn't eat the cereal, they ate the box. Because they were more intelligent. They understood there was more nutrition in the cardboard than there was in the cereal. So this food, honey, that's what money is for. Ultimately, in the Vedic culture, people had food grains and milk products as their primary food, and then other parts for survival, there was some clothing and maybe some shelter. And that was, economic problem was solved. But nowadays, you have to get a credit card, you have to charge your credit card to buy the new phone, to buy your car, to pay for the rent, to pay for your insurance, to pay for the tax, to pay for your children's education, to buy a new dog, whatever else, to pay for your vacation, your old age policy, your whatever. People, and if you tell people simple living, they think it's primitive, that we're very sophisticated. We're working day and night just to pay off our debts. And we think we're proud how much we're working. And what is the result? We simply are in anxiety. And simply there's so much pressure. There's never enough. Even the wealthiest people feel that they're in trouble financially. Or as Howard Hughes, the richest person in the world, said when he had $15 billion, which was probably at least $150 billion now, they asked him, now that you have so many billions of dollars, what is your desire? What do you want? He said, I want more money. He was insecure. He actually was insecure. He was afraid that some germ would kill him because he had heard about the germ theory. Germs kill people. So he put himself in a room for the last part of his life, hermetically sealed, so no germ could enter. And any food that got into his room was zapped by ultraviolet rays and whatever. Nothing could survive after it was done. Put a little dynamite on the food, exploded it in case something got through. And he lived like that for some time, and then he died because someone opened the door and the germ snuck in and killed him. So people are afraid that they're going to die because we have bad news for them. They're probably right. It's probably one of the few things they get right. But in order to protect that, they want money. They want the money for the house, protect them from the elements. They want insurance, protect them from whatever, fire insurance, theft insurance, earthquake insurance, theft insurance, whatever. They think, well, all this will all be protected. Pashanapi napashati. But all these sannyasu, all these soldiers, they can't protect themselves, what to speak of anyone else. So all this endeavor for money will prove failure for protecting our existence, in this body at least. But people don't know that. Nitevidu swartagatimi Vishnu darashaya ye bahya artamanya. They don't know that this so-called protection is valueless ultimately. Because andayatandir pagiyamanas. They've taken someone else as supreme and they're blindly following them. Some blind leader, and they're blindly following them. And therefore they both wind up under the laws of karma, reaping the results of their so-called, their activities. But one who has eyes, one who can actually see the purpose of life and inspire people to follow it, then they can actually lead people out of this darkness. Naisham matis tavad arukramangri. One who understands that Krishna is the real leader and that everyone else should be following Krishna. And if they're not, then they're a misleader, no matter how much they're glorified in modern society. Or as I said before, when Prabhupada was speaking to Professor Kutaski, he said, my dear Professor Kutaski, although you can't understand anything I've said so far, more or less, you haven't understood that we're not this body, about we should develop first-class people in society. But in this way, your philosophy and ours is exactly the same. That your philosophy is that you're going to follow Lenin. And our philosophy is that we're going to follow Krishna. So we both have the same philosophy. You have to follow a leader. But we'll go wherever Krishna is, and you're going to go wherever Lenin is. That's the difference. And then Prabhupada would ask him, can you get me a taxi? He said, sorry, Swami, no, I can't get you a taxi. So Prabhupada had to go out in the street and try and find a taxi. So this is the modern society. People don't realize they're going to wind up wherever their leaders are, or misleaders, and they don't understand who actually a real leader is because they don't know that they're not their body. They don't know that this world is not unreal. It's been created by the supreme reality. But because they're living in a dream, therefore they're creating their next dream. And one who wakes up and can understand that, then he can help so many people wake up also and get out of this dreamlike existence back to the real existence called Krishna consciousness. So I'll stop there. Thank you. Any questions? Comments? Anyone have a question? Okay.
Hare Krishna, thank you, Maharaj, for your lecture. You mentioned Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. And my question is, while I'm working with people who come to ask me for some advice, and most of them, they have no taste for Sanatana Dharma. They just want it from this Jyotish about Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. So I wonder if you have any advice how to approach them properly, that they could maybe get some taste for real Dharma, not for this Jyotish Dharma.
You can tell them you have great karma for chanting.
Yes, they have the
If you chant, all your real desires will be fulfilled.
Thank you.
Anything else? Okay, thank you very much. Grandra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanande.